we are now live. Fanboy Modeling School. Welcome to the Fanboy Modeling School. I am the Mantis now. I'm here with my man
Steve, real name, no gimmicks, also in HD. How the hell you doing, big guy?
Oh, I'm doing lovely. When I say lovely, I'm feeling scrappy. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to talk about things. And I'm ready to curse up a storm. Dig the hole in hell they're waiting to put me in deeper.
Wow. So good day then. Had a great day.
Absolutely good day. And this is the Fat Man. This is reminding you guys we are here on Riz Radio. Please hit us up on Riz Radio weekdays at 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. You get today's best music, all the best independent music, and of course, the best thing you get is the Fanboy Modeling School. That's the Fat Mantis and Steve, real name, no gimmicks, here with the antics.
Here on Thursday night, man. Thursday night show.
This is the beginning of a legend. Have we done Thursday before?
I don't know. The only day I'm pretty sure we haven't done is Wednesday. I'm almost positive, but that's neither here nor there, man. Bro, the internet is ablaze with so many topics, so many
topics. So good to be rich in topics again. Am I right?
So many things happening, man. Right now my mic is holding up. We've been having some audio issues. I am recording the show. Don't you worry about that, buddy. So we'll have tracks tonight. Or I'm just going to drive to the studio where they own this app called OneStream, and whoever is the owner proprietor won't get to enjoy the tribulation. Let me just put it that way.
We're going to have to edit all of that out. Anyway, yeah, any honorable mentions tonight?
Honorable mention number one. I have not watched it yet, but it is out and people seem to love it. Got a high score. The new animated Spider-Man show, where finally Norman Osborn having waves makes sense. Shaolin, a youngster at my job told me that. He was like, now it makes sense that he has waves.
No, you don't understand why he had waves?
Explain to me why the white man had waves.
Okay, so you ever like meet a white girl and she have a big ass? And I don't mean a fat ass with an F. I mean a fat ass with a PH.
Okay.
And it's clearly she has some black heritage. This is just, it's implied. It's implied.
Or she can be Norwegian.
Well, they probably have black heritage. I think they do.
I don't think there's any long-standing history of.
Well, you need to listen to the Hoteps. Because early Africans built ships. They went everywhere, including Mars. They invented everything: the light bulb, the revolving door, the internet, wolves. Yeah, they invented wolves. I'm saying the implication is black heritage. I'm telling you, Norman Osborn has some black heritage.
If you ain't have no black in them, you can get some black in them. Right? Is that what you're saying, my good friend?
Exactly.
That's wild.
In the chat, we got Bex. Hashtag fangirls for fanboys. Thank you very much. Always love that. Love to see her. And our man Shaolin.
Oh, Shaolin, my brother. What's good?
He says, look, Norman has had them things spinning for decades. The race swap was only right. Yes, it was. But here's what I'm saying. When a light skin is so light skin that like they really, really pass for white.
Yeah.
That's what I always assumed Norman Osborn was.
You just assumed he was passing.
Yeah, I assumed he was a quarter black or something, and his mom never told him.
So hot-headed, he was like, "You didn't understand. I made
it." His mom was dated a black guy right before she met his dad. If you know what I mean.
It makes perfect sense, big guy. You know, now I say, have you watched it?
I haven't, but I am super impressed with these scores. I mean, some people are. I think it's still a 100%, and these are like critical critics talking about it. So how is this possible? I do believe that's possible, but I am looking forward to content that's going to make me smile.
Right.
You know, and so I'm into it. I'm in. I can't wait. I actually can't wait to watch it.
Instead of content that's going to make you cry, I assume you're talking about a story we're going to be talking about later.
I mean, I guess. Should we start with this one, or should we wait till the room fills up more?
Do you have any honorable mentions?
Do I have honorable mentions? I barely made it out today. I barely made it out of work today, man. Like,
I know you said you want to save the topic for Layman. Shout out to Layman. Don't worry. First 3 episodes will be dropping soon. But what you
I actually think we should talk about it because you know what? I have secular opinions on it, and I have just pure opinions on it. And we should get super secular tonight because I'm going to get real scrappy about the subject. Of course. We are talking about Calvin, right?
Wait, hold on for a sec. Talk about your honorable mention because I just gotta export this. I want to make sure I get this as a clip.
But so everybody's wondering, we're talking about Calvin Robinson. So here's what it is. He's a bishop of the Anglican Church of England, or Anglican Church worldwide. And because of his stance on certain things, and we'll wait till the topic is officially up, he was excommunicated from the British church. So he moved to America, and he's like, okay, I'll just be an Anglican priest in America. And they were waiting to get him. And they just excommunicated him again. The American Anglican Church.
Wait, so Calvin Robinson, formerly the Anglican Church in England, excommunicado. Even though he's here in America doing a summit with a guy by the name of Joel Webbin. Remember we were talking the other day, and I threw out some cryptic stuff. That I said there's no enemies to my right. Well, if you haven't looked it up yet, that's on you. But no enemies to my right. But yeah, Calvin, that guy you were just talking about, high yellow brother, glasses, very studious looking young brother, excommunicado, man, because he threw up the. What did he
throw him shit? He did not throw him shit. Oh my god, my course barrier is already broken. We're 6 minutes in. He didn't throw up anything, and we're gonna get into it when it's time for it. Okay. Oh my god, Laney O is here. Welcome in, Laney O. How are you?
Welcome in, lady.
She says hello, fam.
So you're
what is that? We're gonna talk about a lot of crazy things. What topic would you like to start with, my friend?
I guess we should get Anthony Mackie out of the way. And Anthony Mackie, who I find, I remember the first movie I ever seen with Anthony Mackie was a Spike Lee movie about him being a man slinging the mandingo to women of the LGBTQ variety who wanted to get pregnant. Yes, this is a movie.
This is a movie.
Yeah, it was a movie. So basically, just like many Spike Lee movies, it kind of has a fever dream-esque theme to it. But essentially, Anthony Mackie in the movie was playing a pharmaceutical exec or someone that worked in that field. And he was a whistleblower. And it talks about, what happens to whistleblowers against these evil conglomerates. Well, he lost his job. And the only way he could stay afloat was to reconnect with his ex-girlfriend or his ex-fiance who had been turned over to the dark side and became a lesbian, and she wanted to have a kid, and so she brought her new fiance, female, to meet Anthony Mackie's character, and they somehow convinced him to start having sex with lesbians to get them pregnant for money.
I did not know that he made movies like this, because let me tell you, when he's not the Falcon, I only knew him for these kind of, they're not low budget, they're just lower budget science fiction movies.
Yeah, no. And yeah, this Anthony Mackie, man. It was it's an insane movie, and that's right, Shaolin. He was also the silent villain in 8 Mile.
Yes, okay, I do remember him from. Yeah, isn't it funny when somebody becomes a superhero or somebody's in a show that you like, and then you end up watching an old show or an old movie, and you're like, oh snap! Like for instance, Homelander, the dude who plays Homelander on The Boys.
Right.
He was on that show with the sheriff.
On FX.
Yeah. It totally blows my mind, but it totally blows. I was watching. I was like, "Hey, Homelander," and I was like, "I didn't know that guy did other acting.
I didn't know he had a career." I believe the name of the show was Justified.
Justified. There we go. Yeah. So he's in some episodes of Justified. I'm sure he's in a lot of other stuff, but I'm just saying, like, it's it's always fun when that happens.
Yeah, when you find out that they had a career prior to that. Yeah, the name of the movie is She Hate Me with Anthony Mackie, the Spike Lee movie where he's slanging it on lesbians.
I gotta check this out.
And that's what I knew him from initially. And I was like, man, this guy's an interesting character, man. Here we fast forward ourselves. I've been championing for Mackie as Captain America because it happened in the comic books. I have a leg to stand on here because it's lore accurate. I thought it was an interesting run in the comics. I didn't have a huge problem with it. And, he's playing the character in the movie. I enjoyed Falcon and the Winter Soldier all the way up into the cheesy speech, which just fell flat because it wasn't well written, not because of the context of which it was speaking. I mean, who doesn't love a riveting speech. And don't act like you guys don't, because all you warrior, proud, Rome thinking SOBs that are like me, you guys have probably watched the same scene over and over again in Gladiator when Maximus is giving that rousing speech before they go into war. Well, that was some civil rights era type stuff. But Mackie stepped in it now, my brother.
Wait. Before you bring it up, I want to talk about positive things about Mackie before we go any further. Or
black brother, strong. He's
or maybe what we should talk about is how much we love or want to love Captain America 4.
Okay,
that's where I'm at.
Yeah, you and Shaolin are going to see it on Valentine's Day.
No, on the 13th.
On Valentine's Day.
On the 13th.
We're going to sit right next to each other, all three of us.
I love the comic book Falcon, and they never let him they never let him become that, right? And I've always been resentful of the MCU because of that, but I really love Falcon in the comic books. I loved how Captain America in the comic books, when they think he dies, right? For a period after Civil War, he dies. Bucky becomes Captain America. Yeah. But Bucky proves to be too unstable, and he goes on a killing spree. And it comes to the end where when Captain America comes back, he has to take back the shield, and he's just like, okay, that was a mistake right there. Then the next time Captain America is unable to fulfill the thing, then goes to Mackie. It completes a full story arc. Why Mackie must hold the shield. It's very heroic.
Yeah.
That out of the two sidekicks, he lives up to being the better son, the better brother, whatever way you want to phrase it.
Right.
It brings a tear to my eye.
It was beautiful. It honestly, in many ways, he represents the ideals that Captain America believes in to a T, right? He's idealistic. He's first soldier in. I mean, he was his young Padawan learner, not young. Don't get me. I know he wasn't like a teenager. He wasn't like his ward, his little black ward that he found somewhere. But he was with him. Also, he's from Harlem in the comics. I just want to make sure I put that out there. You didn't know that, did you?
And now we get to the thing that went crazy. And by the way, Lainey says, "Are you not entertained?"
Oh, did you guys watch Gladiator 2 yet? By the way,
I have not.
Oh.
Why?
Nothing.
What's the face you're making?
Let's keep moving.
Okay. And then this fool had to ruin everything. He had to literally ruin everything. We finally had a black Captain America.
Right.
And he had to sabotage his own film.
So what exactly? So there are a few different things going on right now. There was a rumor going around that there was no Red Hulk in the movie. Did you see this? Like somebody on the internet convinced a bunch of people that they've been lying to you about the Red Hulk, and like basically that maybe they pulled one of those old school 1990s trailer moves where you saw it in the trailer, but it never comes out in the movie type of situation.
No, that's too ridiculous. There's been too much Red Hulk, for it to be a fake.
It doesn't happen in the movie. Like you're just waiting for it to turn out the main villain is Sidewinder. It's just like, what's happening right now?
Oh my God. Shaolin says the first run of the all new Captain America from 2014 with Sam was fantastic. I actually have all the issues. Yeah, it was a good run. It was a very good run. And so here we go. Pokey, welcome in, brother. And Rogue Rio, holla at your boy. And so Mackie really stepped in it.
Yeah.
Weeks before his movie comes out.
Yeah, so he's up on a panel discussing what Captain America stands for. I don't know where this panel was.
Rome. It was in Rome of all places.
Oh, talking poo about America and Italy.
That fool.
And he says Captain America represents a lot of things, but he doesn't believe it represents America.
And if people are questioning, did he really say it? We've got ourselves a little video, which will not only prove he says it, then we can dissect what he said. Did he mean it?
Yeah.
He also came out with an apology. Was that the right move? Let's find out.
Apologies all you got left nowadays, man. You either apologize.
Never apologize when you're canceled. Steve, you're an amateur right now. What are you talking about, brother?
Always fold to the machine. Don't listen to Mantis. He's not to pay your bills. Fold.
Steve, I am gonna have to protect you if you ever get canceled.
I'm gonna apologize.
You never admit wrong. You never.
I will apologize on your behalf. I'm like, Mantis is on medication. He's dieting. He's crazy. He had his period. His blood pressure was up.
No, you have to say, I said what I said, and belligerently storm out.
You got to Tamar Braxton it. You got to Tamar Braxton. If you don't get that reference, you don't listen to enough black music. Tamar Braxton is the semi-successful sister of Tony Braxton.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
No.
Let's see what
Mackie?
this Dominican has to say about it.
Oh, boy. The flag.
Mr. Mackie, that was bad. Would you say it was bad? People kept tagging me in this clip of him talking, and I looked at one clip, and it didn't say what they quoted him as saying. Something about Captain America not being about America or representing America. And I was like, okay, well, the clip you got here didn't say that, so whatever. Then I kept getting tagged in it and sent it, and I was like, all right, let me take another look at this stuff. Someone sent me the clip of the quote, and I was like, you got to be kidding me that he said that. Does he want the movie to fail? Anthony Mackie says Captain America shouldn't represent America.
Oh, boy. There's got to be deeper context to this. There has to be.
He's going to show the video.
It's in the name. It's in the name. Yes. He should be the Boy Scout, patriotic, help his fellow man, freedom of speech, freedom for all sentient beings. He should be like that, okay? That's what
he was
Captain
just quoting
America
Optimus
is.
Prime, who's not an American.
Like Superman not being super. He needs to be super to be Superman.
Right.
You have to be about America.
Pause it for 1 second.
To be Captain America.
I actually think that Superman's been too super in a few years. I think we need to dial back more realistic and tuned with his feelings Superman. Superman less about flying around and breaking stuff and more about solving things with his words.
And this is why superhero movies need to die. Because people like you. Honestly, they need to start having superhero movies where they're thinking less of their feelings and they're just beating up more bad guys.
You know what type of superhero movies I hope you have to watch for the rest of your life? I hope you have to watch Not Chasing Amy, the movie. Do you remember the comic book that she was trying to shop in the movie? I hope you're forced to watch. Oh my God. I'm sorry, continue. We're having a good time tonight, man. It's a good podcast. I like doing Thursday.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, yeah.
So, sure to please American moviegoers, Anthony Mackie, while in Rome to promote the film, says Captain America isn't about America. Mackie stars as Sam Wilson in Disney's and Marvel's Captain America Brave New World, replacing Chris Evans, Steve Rogers, as the titular character. Instead of representing America, Mackie says Captain America should focus on values like honor, dignity, integrity. Well, those are things that Americans like to say that they stand for, okay? So why didn't you just say American values or something? Based on Mackie's statement, does that mean he believes America doesn't represent honor, dignity, and integrity? See?
Exactly. He said he shouldn't represent America. He should represent, and he started listing all these positive characteristics. It's almost as if and obviously there's no way he's saying, no one is stupid enough to say that, right? But it sounds like he's saying Americans don't stand for that.
Well, I mean, is it general consensus? Do all Americans stand for it?
Obviously, any country standing for any one characteristic is a generalization and is stupid, right? Obviously, not all Americans want justice and peace, or whatever crap we tell them that we believe in. It's all just propaganda at this point. But the point is, if you play Captain America, you better act like you love it.
You better pretend to be an actress. You better act like you're enjoying this. You better act like you're enjoying it.
Exactly. Imagine if the guy who plays Superman was like, at a press conference, and he was like, "Well, the problem that I have with Superman is he's white, cis, and really privileged.
Right.
And I'm tired of seeing Superman have all this privilege." I mean, people would lose their minds, right? And so here's just a little pro tip, guys. So it's like the Snow White chick. Remember Rachel Zegler, I think her name is?
Yes.
She starts dissing the original Snow White. But here's the thing. Snow White fans like the original Snow White. So it makes no sense to insult the movie. Just like someone who's a fan of Captain America probably likes America. And you should therefore not say anything stupid about America.
You know what? I think you're onto something.
Just a little pro tip, guys. Rogue Radio says, I was talking to someone about this, and I told them, why be Captain America then? It makes no sense. Exactly. Just be the captain.
Captain
Woken America, says Rogue Radio.
Captain Consideration. That's what it's called from now on. All right, so Anthony Mackie stepped in a little bit, man, but there was controversy surrounding the movie prior to this, man. Yeah, and here's why I like to be consistent. This was a stupid thing to do. So close. You know, I'm a huge proponent of don't fumble the bag, right? I'll always be there to protect you, Mantis. You get up on the stage, you have a Ronald Reagan moment, I'm gonna deck you just to save this. Like, he's clearly joking, folks. He didn't kill anyone. Let's get out of here. He's not confessing to crimes, but people were wanting not to like this movie from the gate. Can we just be consistent about that? There was already a contingent of people on the internet who were, you know who they are. They want the movie to fail, and he gave them the ammunition that they need, right?
Yeah. And it's crazy. There's, I think they did 4 reshoots. Maybe it's 3 or 4. Those that both the numbers are bad.
Yeah,
whichever way you cut it. But another thing is, there are those people, and I cannot stand that. They're like, look, it's a Captain America movie without Captain America. And they're being all smug because basically what they're saying is he has no right to the shield. He has no right to call himself Captain America. And I think that is the worst argument against this film.
Right.
To boycott or hate on it because when you haven't even seen it yet, clearly they're coming from a place, and I don't want to say what I think that place is, but you know.
Yeah, you're saying that they're being less than genuine.
Right? Yes.
But if you were saying that less than genuine is a word that starts with R.
Yes. And ends with ism. but I'm saying so if the movie sucks, that's one reason to boycott or hate it. People are having all these rumors. Supposedly test screeners don't like it.
Yeah.
And so there's already that against it, right? And then we have these racists. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, guys. I don't often accuse people of being racist, but
they're out there.
Is racist. I'm kidding. If you should ever see this, I'm kidding. You just seem it. But I'm saying they're like against Sam Wilson taking over the shield, even though it's been in the story. It's totally legit. And so there's so many reasons to hate it. And so obviously these haters are going to go through everything people do with a fine-tooth comb to find that one flaw.
Racist toothed comb. Generally, or I'm sorry, sounds like what's this guy's name from Tombstone? Not Wyatt Earp, the other one. Who did Val Kilmer play in friggin'
Hollywood?
It's just, I'm just Joe Days. I understand what you're saying, and also, they would rebuttal to your statement, even though I know you're joking about the nerdrotic thing. They would rebuttal saying, "Is Eric July racist because he doesn't believe in tokenizing characters?" I don't believe in race swapping characters, but this wasn't a race swap; it was a mantle passing but we're also including the fact that this was a dumb thing for him to say. But something I want to bring up, man, is I've talked about this on the show before, especially in regards to nerdom. Could Anthony Mackie, if he would have stuck to his guns, could he thought he was taking a civil rights stand? There are a lot of people who are saying a lot of things on the internet, buddy. I don't know if you noticed it. They've been saying it for a while. They feel as if though they're taking a stand in what's their civil rights era, right? Where they must speak truth to power. They have to be the one on the mic saying it. Now, I'm not saying there's not vast evil in this world. That's not what I'm not saying. I have a worldview that actually allows me to see things as evil. Some of you people just, hey, man, whatever happens, if it's a starfish, it's a blowfish, right? Like, you believe what you want. But there's some people who feel like they're fighting the evil of their time. What do you think, buddy?
So I think those people are what we call morons. Class A morons. And so this is unfortunately what happened with progressive Christianity. And what it is that all these people are cosplaying civil rights activists, right? And so they read the legends of civil rights. They read the legends, all these people who led people out of oppression, and they now want to do it. And so I think, I have a former pastor who was like that. She was always looking all around the corner, looking for some crusade to fight so she could prove her wokeness and her whiteness and what a great person she is.
Right.
Look at my civil rights that I fought for. My white ass save these poor, pathetic people, whether it's through their race or their gender ideology or whatever it is. And it all leads to crap.
Right.
None of you are activists, or you know what it is? You're pretending to be activists, but you're people who just bitch and moan and bother people. You're just in my way while I'm driving to work. Okay? You're not doing anything. You're not changing anything. And everyone comparing everything to civil rights, it drives me nuts. People are like, well, the furries should have the right to bang in front of children at a nice holiday parade. This is their civil rights moment. It's not their civil right. It's not the same thing. A pervert in a furry costume is not the same thing as a black man whose ancestors endured slavery. Right. So here's what I'm saying. I understand that what it is everyone's taught this, and this is the problem. Mackie, if this is his thing, he was misled. Any of these people, they're misled because they're taught this as kids, that they're like, you need to stand up, you need to make a fight. And then what happens is people start fighting when there's no point of fighting.
Right. Okay. I get you. I agree with you. There are some fights that are. Here's a better way to put this, Anthony. I'm talking directly to you. If you meant what you said, right? And if you stand on business, as they say, let your pocketbook also stand on business. Now, I'm not saying that he doesn't donate to local communities and things of that nature, but some things are better done with action, right? And social awareness is great. That's why we got the social awareness crew working on Facebook, on IG, all those people dumping reels. They're doing a great job. They're winning the war. Capital. Find yourself a local organization that's digging into the community which you want to represent and funnel money into it. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
Your money. He did something once. He purports he did something, but I believe that he did it. When he first got the role as Falcon, he went into, I believe it was a Walmart, and started signing the posters. And he got kicked out of the Walmart. And he's like, no, I'm that guy. It's me. I'm signing it so some kid can get it for free. And they're like, you can't open this. And right on it.
Right.
Stuff like that. Walk around.
That's great. That is a great story. He should be promoting that.
Walk around the community, shake hands, dressed up as Captain America in the community, right? Champion the next Black Panther movie, and let's finally get you and Samuel L. Jackson in it, right? Why weren't they in any of the Black Panther movies? I mean, why did we only get them in a snippet in Infinity Wars? But do something tangible in the community.
The producers thought it was too black. That's why they put that white dude in there.
Which one?
That one white dude, the British dude.
There was that guy, and it was Bucky. I was like, that's why I'm like, which one? There were multiple. They're running around. But you understand what I'm saying? I think that's a better representation of activism, is tangible. And look, I'm speaking the language of the activist. Somewhere right now, there's an activist getting angry at me because I'm using their coded language. He's giving tangibles, right?
Right. You're on fire right now.
That's what tangible things, Mr. Mackie. That's what people are looking for.
And obviously not necessarily related to what we're talking about, but it's related directly to what you just said. A lot of people are saying that about Selena Gomez.
Oh,
now we all know that she cried.
Wait. You gotta give me a heads up when you do that type of stuff. I gotta get the record button. Hold on. Talk to the chat while I get everything ready.
I didn't realize you weren't recording.
I am recording, but that was one segment I recorded. We're moving on to another one. Remember, we have
we're not.
We're moving on.
We're not. Okay.
Talk to the chat, man. They love you.
Guys, how are you doing? How is everyone feeling today?
Look, he can't help himself, folks. He can't hold it together.
I can't hold it together. I want to talk about what I want to talk about. Are we set?
No, not yet. Who's here in the chat? How's everyone doing tonight, man?
We got Rogue Radio, we got Laney, we got Shaolin Iceboxer, we got the Pink Princess. I saw Pokey in here earlier. I haven't seen him talking though.
Can I tell you that Pokey's probably got the best name of a lot of the handles, man. Like of all the handles that came out of Spoon, Pokey was one of the ones when I would be drinking. I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm saying this right. I think I called him Pokey one day. I know I used to butcher,
for all I know, it's Poke. For all I know, it's Poke.
I definitely butchered friggin' poor Kaloli's name.
I remember you got on me for getting that wrong one day.
All right. And so Selena Gomez, why don't you like her? I don't understand.
I love her. She's a darling. But as we all know, and everyone has seen it, she put a recording of herself. I don't know which app, but it looked like TikTok of her crying on camera. And already people are annoyed. And I understand this one. For crying on the camera, right?
Yeah.
You have to set up a camera, you have to film yourself crying, and then you have to then put it online purposely. Yeah. There's no way you accidentally filmed yourself crying.
Yeah.
Right.
What about the content creators that wake up with the camera in the morning? Like, this is my morning routine, and I'm like, I hate you.
Or people who claim they accidentally filmed their fiance proposing to them. I'm like, that was no accident.
Yeah. Or they accidentally filmed. Oh, never mind. Moving on.
The stuff that gets accidentally filmed in this day and age is wild. but so here's what it is. She starts crying, and she's crying about what's happening in America with deportation and all these things. And I feel her, and I think a lot of people feel her, and I feel that she's embracing empathy, and she's showing that she has a heart and all these things. I totally dig it. But here's the thing. Here's what people are really messed up about, and I think they kind of have a valid point. What news article do you remember reading or hearing about Selena Gomez this year? Mainly because of not just her acting and her music career, but also because of her makeup line. Do you remember what she became famous for this year?
No, I don't.
She is a billionaire.
Is she?
Yes, she has reached over $1 billion in sales. She's personally worth over $1 billion. This was huge news in 2024, right? That was the year that went by. Everyone was losing their mind. They're like, she's still acting, she's still singing, but she's a billionaire. That's crazy. She's on that show, that Murders in the Building.
Oh, wow.
And she's a billionaire, and she's crying about this. Well, the question is, why doesn't she take her money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And apply it to legal services for people who are illegal immigrants? Why doesn't she put her money to helping out people?
Tangibles.
Tangible, actual things. And if anyone has it, she has it. She's a billionaire. Here's what I'm saying. There are actors. I get it. They can, let's say an actor is worth like $20 million. Still, you can only, that's chump change in helping.
That. Grace Papaya.
That is Grace Papaya dinner every night, bro. Right? And that's ramen for breakfast. That's a 42nd Street hooker as opposed to an 83rd Street hooker, right?
Oh, 83rd.
Yeah. Oh, those women are loose. But anyway, the point is that like what is she doing? Her tears do nothing. Her money, which she has a lot of. Here's what I'm saying: she could help a lot of people and still not even damage her worth that much. And so, and say what you will about Taylor Swift, like people bark at Taylor Swift all the time. She drops money on charity nonstop.
Right.
You know, she's a billionaire too, but she at least is dropping that money where it counts.
Yeah, and she paid for her boyfriend's team to get to the Super Bowl again.
She absolutely did. She absolutely did. And you know what's happening? He came back out of pretending to be a victor. He's like, yeah, I did it. And you know what? She didn't put out. Yeah, he went home and he gave her a massage, and he was like, "Thank you, sweetie, for paying for my victory." And she's like, "You'll pay me back someday." It's absolutely
now rub my size 11 feet. No, I get what you're saying though. Like, okay, so I obviously got the story all wrong with Selena Gomez. I thought her grandmother or someone got deported. Like someone close to her. Was it someone close to her that got deported?
No, she's saying in the video. She's saying, "My people, my people." They're attacking my people. So it was the general concept of Mexicans, which, like I said, I'm for that. Like I'm not trying to hate on her for that. That's a perfectly valid feeling.
Yeah, that is a valid feeling. I be there for your community by showing up physically, investing in the things that will help your community be sustained and protected during these times. Right? Maybe going to some of those brown organizations, and when I say brown, I'm using that as a universal blanket because I don't want to say Latinx, Latino, Hispanic. I don't want to step in that. But maybe going into the communities where there are people who are advocating for helping people get naturalized, legalized in the country.
Yeah,
helping them with legal services to pursue that dream. You know,
right? Absolutely. Max says, "You actually think they went home together?"
Oh,
but it's so true. It's so true. Like, for all we know, after they get out of the limo, they don't even talk. Right?
Hold on for a second. Riz Radio alert. Bex, I am patiently waiting for you to write an article about this academic situation. Patiently waiting, Bex. Patiently waiting.
How did we not choose that as one of our stories?
I don't want to step in that. I don't. He's out here striking people. And I'm fine with it. I'll burn this channel down and start another one tomorrow. But you got to be fine with it too.
Right. I know, because I saw that video. That video is wild.
I didn't watch the video. There's like physical forensic evidence of him grooming a person.
The things he was saying to the 15-year-old on a I don't know if it was a live stream, but it looked like a Discord party. There were mad heads in there.
Wait,
and there was a 15-year-old kid in there.
Was he being like a loose old dude, use loose old N-word, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes, he was. Yes, he was. Okay. But still, it was gross. It's gross.
No, there's no excuse for it. But you grew up in the hood. You know, this weird stuff happens when the blunt gets passed around. Some old dude starts saying way out stuff, and you're like, what the?
Yeah, the kid was like, "Yo, why don't you chill? Why don't you chill?" Because basically, what he said is, he was like, "Yo, you're," because the kid is trying to be a rapper, and the kid's like 15, and he's like, "Yo, kid, you're doing good." He's like, "You want something?" He's like, "You want me to send you some booze? You want me to send you some girls?" And the kid's like, "Yo, I'm 15. I'm 15." He's like, "Why? You haven't busted a nut in a girl before?" And he starts getting on that, like you said, one of those old school cats trying to make a man out of a young.
There's just no excuse for it. But I thought he was like, Weinsteining him, but he was.
He later on made a joke which was super graphic and gross. Okay. He was like, "Why don't you want the girls? Would you rather X, Y, and Z?" And he said some graphic joke. And that was gross.
Was he doing the Boosie thing when Boosie told the world that he gets his son prostitutes? Was it that?
I feel like it was in that vein.
Oh, okay. See, right. I'm not excusing it. That's still deplorable. But there's a different type of deplorable. It's same, different but equal. Different but equal. I thought he was actually like he got caught talking to some young dude. Trying to encourage.
I mean, it was just inappropriate jokes. There was no way he wasn't trying to get with the kid, or it wasn't anything like that. But here's what I will say. Just it's so funny we were jumping from Selena to this, but the point is like people, even if you're a celebrity, even if you're a streamer, even if it's funny, whatever, we got to know our limits.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, don't be having conversations with 15-year-olds about anything, anywhere, at any time. You know what I mean? 15-year-olds I kicked out of Request Box Live. I'm like, you're how old? jettison. And some of them were like, no, please, I need friends. I'm like, too bad. Click. Deport.
Yo, Rogue Radio says, wait, who are we talking about? We're talking about DJ Academics.
Yeah.
Who is being canceled right now because he was on a live stream with a lot of people were in the stream with him. It was, like I said, looked like a Discord party going on. And one kid who was 15, DJ Academics was dropping all these really perverted jokes the kid's way.
Yeah.
And some people were saying he's a groomer. I don't know if he's groomer, but it is gross. I would like it to stop.
Yeah. A lot of stuff happens when you're a young male, man. Not anything I haven't heard in a barbershop before at that age. And I don't know if that makes it right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I've had older men as a young man ask me questions like that before. Like, you ain't, and I'm just like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing. Yeah. Anyway, moving back to Selena.
Yeah, back to Selena for a minute. I think this is a great time for us to talk about just deportation and all of it. Some light topics here for Fanboy Modeling School. Yeah, so do you have any takes?
What about what's going on with deportation, Selena Gomez? Yeah. So here's the deal, right? Obviously, President Trump found time to respond to this, and quite possibly one of the most scathing responses anyone's ever given anyone ever on the internet. And I'm just gonna see if I can pull that up so we can read it, man, because it would. I was convinced he didn't write this. I'm like, this has to be a 16-year-old, not because of the maturity level, but this is the way 16-year-olds like of this generation burn each other. This is
remember, he lives on the internet.
I couldn't believe it, man. Like, give me a second, man. Folks, if you wonder why I'm looking at my phone, I get messages from correspondents who are ghost watching the show, and they're like, hey, make sure you talk about this, talk about that. So every once in a while I get hit up. But
Donald Trump forever lives on the internet, so it doesn't surprise me that he has, because he's such a great troll. I love when he rips someone apart on the internet. It's amazing.
Many Hollywood liberals have taken our actions to secure the border very personally and are no doubt surprised that the government finally did something after years of inaction. Actress Selena Gomez, best known as the third amigo on that murder mystery show that Chevy Chase wouldn't touch, posted a video to social media where she was in tears over the deportation. Selena, these are people who, and this is how you know he wrote it, these are okay, these are people who broke the law by coming here. That sentence has got me all messed up. Some have also committed other horrible crimes. I hope Selena is just as upset about the victims of these crimes. Focus on your career. The people want a sequel to Spring Breakers.
He literally said sequel to Spring Breakers. Oh my God. No, that is. Oh my God! God bless this man. Like, the vibes, the energy, the knowledge. I hear what you're saying. Like, he even knows what that movie is.
Bro, he said the third amigo. That is
the third
racist, and it's just like, I'm like, he couldn't have written this, man. He couldn't have written this. It has to be Barron. It's Barron. Barron's writing it. Barron wrote it.
You think
He's like,
son, he has Barron in charge of his things. That would be so smart. The third amigo, but the third amigo, that's very him.
Yes.
Right. Like, for instance, when he was like, remember, this was, I think during his last term, he was like, these hombres are we got some real bad hombres over here. and here's the thing. I actually don't think this stuff is racist. I think it's on the line. I think it's like on the line. What do you think?
I think it's the type of thing I'd hit you for in public. There is you're not even teetering on the line. But then again, like, if you were black and you said something way out to me, I hit you for that too. Like, you talk white, like, oh, here it comes. Bow.
Actually, no, you're right. That's the equivalent of someone making a reference to either cotton or a plantation when talking to a black person. You're right. That's worthy of a punch. You're right. The third amigo.
I assaulted a man who was just pulling the cotton out of his aspirin, but he looked at me while he was doing it, and I was like, "Oh no, you didn't, you mother!" I just strangled him. Oh wait, sorry.
But here's the deal. Mantis. Everybody knows that Mantis, is a Trump guy. Was very pro Trump. Doesn't mean I'm pro everything that Trump is about.
And no one
So,
thinks you are. Yeah.
right. And so an example is actually deportation is one I'm not with him for. Now, right now, I'm loving it because right now they are mainly targeting the real criminals.
Right.
And other people are getting caught up in the dragnet of it all, as they call it,
Right.
right? They go to arrest a criminal, and he's with some other illegals. They get caught as well. It's called the dragnet.
Yeah.
And so, but I am glad. I love watching all these daily reports of these criminals gang members getting taken away. I love what he did with Colombia.
That was wild, man. Like, oh, you're not gonna let him land? Tariffs.
Yes, exactly. And you know what? I think tariffs are a threat. Everyone's like, "Oh, his tariffs." He hasn't implemented them right. That's his threat to other people who don't cooperate.
Right. So here's a funny thing about the tariffs, and I actually have a video queued up for us about that. But
if I could finish my thought real quick, I just want people to know. However, I really hope he doesn't reach, say, 1 million. I hope before the end of the year, after he gets all like the criminals and the people who've done crimes out, that he either backs up or maybe he wants to open up an amnesty program for people who are willing to turn themselves in. Let them stay if they're not a criminal.
We're going to touch on some topics here, man, in a second. And I don't know how deep you want to go into this, because there's a certain level of what you would consider charity, what you would consider generosity, and what you would just consider humane. And again, I have nothing against violent criminals, repeat offenders, and the drug racketing business, human trafficking, all that stuff. Get them out of here. You got to protect society from the predators that prey on the sensibilities of people. But the collateral damage, it can get to a point where it's like, hey, man, she was a grandmother. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was
right. And there's no way we're going to avoid that. Eventually, it will be stories of little kids, grandmothers, stuff like that. Families being torn apart.
I don't. But the border part was like, man, they don't have to be torn apart. We'll send them all back together. And that's just a cold-hearted statement. I'm not there. I got to be the guy to say I'm just not in that place where I'm like, yeah, if I was at the rally and they were looking to see who was really with the business, that would be the moment where they're like, "Get Steve." I'm like,
because you would hesitate for a second.
I didn't clap quick enough. I'm like,
And like I said, I love that there's these massive attacks right now going on, but I do hope that we can't sustain this for 4 years, right?
No,
that would be crazy. But yeah, I do hope there is something. And I know obviously, people are going to watch this, comments are going to be made. People are going to say, I'm soft, I'm weak, or whatever. Yeah. Here's what it is. The number of illegals that are currently in America is estimated around 11 million. If you think about it, that's actually not that much.
Right.
11 million is the population of the 5 boroughs during the workday.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how much it goes from 8 million, but it grows to 11 million, all the people commuting into the cities, right, for jobs. Right. That's that's only New York, but we have all this space.
Listen, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just thinking that maybe we could be nice. And you know what, another thing I gotta say is I think truly show power as a ruler, it'd be great to show mercy. Mercy is a great quality of a leader.
That's what I'm talking about. Charity and mercy, man, because it does come to a certain place, which is, so I believe that some things are just a heavy-handed approach. But again, I've warned about for years, man, the pendulum swung left for so long that this is the only reaction. I knew this was coming, and it's going to swing right, and it's going to stay right for a while. Even after his administration, these policies are going to stay right, in my opinion. And I don't mean right as in correct. I mean, it's going to stay conservative in approach. Speaking of which, I sent you a video by a man named Pastor Doug Wilson, and I think it's going to touch on some things that we should talk about. Though I know you're bringing a secular approach, he's going to talk about the tariffs, and he's going to talk about how we got here. I just want to see what your take on it is, because Doug Wilson's an interesting character. He's not wrong, and he's not a crazy person. I think he's just got the Trump thing kind of sold up if you're looking at it from the conservative side of the table. And while Mantis is doing that, folks, Mic Check is moved to Tuesday nights and Sunday nights, and I got to tell you, I had a great time this Tuesday. I felt rejuvenated, Mantis, doing the show on Tuesday, man, playing the music. Did you catch the show, big guy? He's frozen. I'm frozen. Everyone's frozen. There, he's back. What up? Did you catch the show on Tuesday?
I did. Loved it.
I had a good time. All right, here he is, Doug Wilson.
Yeah, but I gotta say, yeah, Mic Check was very awesome the other day, brother.
Yeah,
keep up that good work.
Yeah, we had some bangers playing, man, some bangers. Do the kids still say bangers? They say that?
I really don't think they do, but you know, we are old guys for the internet. You know, we're 28 and 29 respectively, and that's old.
That's pretty old.
Well, let's see what this old timer's got to say.
Because anything to go by, and it appears that it will be. I look forward to having a really good time in the months to come. There is a lot to appreciate and applaud here.
Guys, we
and
have Father Christmas.
Laugh out loud moments. But I do not write as someone who is enthralled to some kind of Trump personality cult. I don't think that I could work individually for Trump for 45 minutes straight without getting fired 3 or 4 times. Let's be realistic.
Third amigo.
Introduction. This image is real and not grok related. And as one of my grandsons put it, words cannot describe how much I love American politics. So what are we to make of the first week of Trump 47? Manon Tennant has written that he thinks this whole thing is going to spell long-term difficulties for the church as the church. And while one of his central cautions is very well taken, what follows below are 7 reasons why I'm not nearly as pessimistic as he is. The caution I agree with is the one I touched on here. With the election of Trump and with all the aggressive moves he is making to unravel and dismantle major aspects of the progressive madness, it would be easy, now that the pressure seems to be off, for Christians to go right back to sleep. Although the seas were turbulent, as long as Jonah was safe in the boat, he was sleeping. He got around to his praying from inside the great fish. One good thing about affliction is that it focuses the mind, helps us concentrate.
Surprise fees? Not here. While some other tax preparers H&R Block gives you a price before.
It is good for me that I've been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes. Psalm 119:71. Now, some of what I argue below I have said before in this space, but reminders can still be helpful. But some of it is fresh and new, just like our waves of astonishment when Trump floats the idea of abolishing the income tax. Josiah and Jehu. For many years, faithful Christians have been longing for and praying for a king like Josiah. We want someone who go after all the high places. But what God in his providence has done is he has given us a Jehu. Now, I certainly believe that we should continue to pray that God would raise up our Josiah.
No,
but in the meantime, we should take our Jehu. I mean, it really does look like Trump is going to convert the DEI temple into a latrine. We are not against that part. Gulf of America. On the one hand, the name change from Denali back to McKinley is neither here nor there. The same thing is true about the newly tagged Gulf of America. Never once in my life has it ever chafed me to have the name of Mexico lapping along our American shores. I never even thought about it. But here's why these moves are so important. These are not examples of Trump's pettiness or childishness, but are rather marks of a real tactical genius. I've argued for many years that all of our cultural battles are over editorial control of the dictionary.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America. What do you think about that? What do you think?
So here's what I'm saying. That's as a stunt. That's the type of stuff I love about Trump. I think it's hysterical because honestly, like he said, he's never even thought about it, and I've never thought about it either. Who would think about something like that? It seems like a petty person, and it's just so funny that Trump is like, we are changing that name, right? Oh, it makes me laugh so hard. Here's what it is. I want presidents who are like that, who are petty like that.
I won't make you watch the whole thing, but he does get into the tariffs and the income tax thing. So what he does, so in regards to the income tax, what is your understanding? Does this make Trump a hero if he gets rid of the income tax? And what is your understanding?
He hasn't done anything yet, and so I will leave it when I see it. For instance, a lot of people on the left, of course, are being like, if he has tariffs, it will sink and destroy the country, and we will all die, and we will drown in China's excellence. And these are people who like clearly are not like economics anything.
Right.
They're not economists, they're not financial wizards. Usually they live in their mom's basement, right? But they're the people who are like, economically, that's going to destroy us. Shut up. Just shut the hell up. But ultimately, people are praising it. It's too soon to praise it. It's like those memes on Twitter when people show a picture of Henry Cavill as Superman and they show this new David Cornsweet guy, and they're like, which one's the better Superman? I'm like, I haven't seen David Cornsweet as Superman yet. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until to see the actual verdict of what actually happens when he changes the policy. But like I said earlier, I'm starting to think that when he says I'm gonna shut down an organization, which he says a lot, he's like, I'm gonna shut it down. Like the other day he was saying I'm gonna get rid of FEMA. What did that cause FEMA to do? Their job. And what I think it is, and just like tariff, we're going to do tariffs. We're going to do tariffs to these countries. We're going to do these things. These are threats that a CEO is making,
right?
And he's like saying, maybe we don't need your department. And then you start getting your work done. And then he's like, okay, good.
Emails. Well, okay, it's funny because Mr. Wilson is going to go on here and he's going to talk about the reality of the tariffs in regards to income tax. He basically says it's a slow roll, and it's one of those things where if he gets rid of the income tax, then we will be charging other countries to, bring their items into this country, right? And that's what's going to pay the Fed. He's like, so you'll pay for it still as an American because now you'll be paying the $8 for bread. So you can either pay it now or you can pay it throughout the year on items, but it will still come out of your pocket one way or another. It's just a way for Trump to control. And he didn't say this in a disparaging way. That's why I was going to let it play so he can speak for himself. But essentially saying it's not a move that's really going to change anything. It's just going to put pressure on countries that have been dealing poorly with America for years. But we're still going to put the brunt of the bill up,
Mm-hmm. Well, for instance, people remember it was only a couple of hours that Colombia totally caved.
Right.
They didn't want to take their illegals back. And then, he was like, all these tariffs, all these things. And what they talk about is they're like, well, what do you get from Colombia, right? And so we get we get a lot of bananas from them. We get flowers, and they're listing these things, coffee beans, obviously. But the thing is people were pointing out that there's a list of countries near Colombia who are willing to sell it to us cheaper than Colombia was. They wanted to get in line. They were ready to replace Colombia. They were going to slit their throat and jump in there. And that's another thing we need to think about. Is it possible that that's what he's also trying to do?
Yeah, that's what I just said. He's looking to make a better deal.
Yeah, very excellent. The better deal, right? And so
it's such a weird thing though, man. And I know you don't want it. All right. So from your secularist opinion of this, man, why do you have to judge it as a secularist? I meant to ask you that. Does that make it easier or more palatable for you to judge, or is it just like
no, because there are two sides. There are two sides of me on everything and stuff like that. And so
for instance, on everything, you want to talk about that? What's the other side? Do you share about that type of stuff in public?
I'm saying there's what my instinctual animalistic secular mind feels, and then there's what my Christian mind feels. And obviously, this is how God designed us and our religion to be.
Did you see how dual-minded? Mixed food on all the atheists. He called you animals.
I mean, they are. I mean, no offense. Because I think they would call themselves an animal, a drooling, snarling animal that's rebelling against the only type of civility they can possibly have. Right?
I get you.
And so, yeah, they're animals. But for instance, when Trump disses somebody, my animalistic mind is like, yeah, whoa, and I love it. And then, however, take a minute, the Christian starts to settle in. I'm like, Well, you don't need to make Serena Gomez feel bad because she's sad
she's
for
having hard enough, man. Like, the breakup with The Weeknd, the breakup with Justin Bieber,
Yeah, I mean, she's a billionaire, so whatever. But yeah, no, I feel it. But the point is that I think we all have this dual nature, and because Fanboy is supposed to be like, fun and games, I try to bring out secular Roy as much as possible.
Secular animalistic Roy. The pee on your shoe at the party. Like, is this the world you want to live in? Where everyone does what they want when they want to do it?
Yeah, exactly. Anything that makes you feel good, right, man? Like I think Destiny said that.
Oh man, Destiny's going through it too right now, bro.
People are like saying, do you think that like your atheistic view is what led you down a dark path? And he actually said, I'm not down a dark path. Everything is great in my life right now. I increase the amount of joy and fun I'm having all the time, and I don't let things get in my way of that.
He said that with the allegations and everything going on?
Yeah. And I'm like, this guy is an animal. He's the epitome of an animal.
You know what, though? He might very well not be able to be canceled. Like, I have seen no dip in his performance, which... By the way, we're going to talk about performance here in a second. No, that wasn't a plug for any type of male enhancing drug, but your girl is back on the scene. Your girl is back. I said your girl.
Oh, my girl. Are we still watching Santa for any
No. Goodbye, Mr. Wilson.
Goodbye. Thank you. I'm probably going to watch this when I'm off camera.
Don't text me about it. I don't even know what clip we're on now anymore. I think we're on D. Pause.
My girl was back.
Your girl is
Guess
back.
who's back? Everyone's favorite white girl.
You're gonna jump ship, man. I know you are. I know you're gonna jump ship on that.
And so before I press play on this, I will say this. When she put up that trailer at the beginning of the week and she said, Thursday my show premieres.
Right.
I actually was excited throughout the week for the episode to drop. I was like, I can't wait till Brett drops her episode.
Right.
And also I've been watching Regan.
Yeah.
She's all right.
Exactly. Here we go. I told you how this fool gets down, man. I told you. If we were high school age right now, Mantis would be like, Steve, let me ask you a question. Has Regan ever really done anything for you as a black man? I'm like, what? And I know she's not allowed to hang out at the Haven anymore.
I'm not saying I wouldn't smash. I definitely would still smash Regan, but in terms of who's the better host. But here's what I'm saying. Once again, I don't feel like I need to give up Regan because of Brett. But I'm saying I'm certainly happy that Brett is back.
So obviously, if you haven't queued in yet, man, Brett Cooper is back and to the tune of 1.5 million views. I can't even make it out. What does it say there, man?
Let me see.
Brett Cooper, and now premiering her new show, simply just named the Brett Cooper Show. And yeah, she looks like she's killing it already, man. Looks happy. She didn't say anything, as far as I can tell, in this episode about her departure from the Daily Wire, right? And just kind of gets into what her new approach to this whole thing is going to be, which is already tackling a very, very controversial topic because a lot of people want to pretend like it's not a thing. It's conservative cancel culture.
Yeah. And so, it looks like, what's funny? She started this morning under 700,000, right? Because people were slowly coming to her channel. And within this one day, she's 1.01 million subs. So her views on this is 1.469 million views.
Oof.
She has 285,000 likes on this video. Wow. So
monetized.
It's crazy because before the pandemic, she was a nobody.
Yeah. And now
in a short time, she's like one of the most important people out. Like they had her on Fox News the other night talking about her show.
What was she talking about? What'd she say?
They were just talking about what it's like to be young conservative, and then she just kind of like, she advertised her show coming out later that week. But the fact that like mainstream media called her forth and was just like, that's a big deal.
Did she get into any of the Daily Wire stuff while she was on there?
She refused. She didn't talk about any of that stuff. She talked about, I don't know if you saw that on Vanity Fair, that whole thing with the cover. Do you know about this?
No, I don't know about this.
So they did a no, I'm sorry, it was New York Magazine. So it was New York Magazine, and they did a cover where it shows a bunch of wealthy white people in tuxedos and dresses. They look all beautiful. They're all amazing. Well, and it took a picture of them, and they were like the kids at the cruel table. And they said the new MAGAs of this generation are cruel, white, wealthy, and they don't give a damn about America and all this stuff. And they had this hit pace. Turns out they were at a black man's party, and people have shown the full picture of the room, and they purposely chose an angle where no people of color were for the cover.
I gotta see. This is the New Yorker or the New York Magazine?
New York. I think it's New York Magazine.
That's insane. So what did Brett have to say?
Yeah, I mean, she was pointing out, she pulled out, she found the lie, and she was like, look at this. And they were at this dude's party, and they were doing, all this stuff. And it was, I mean, it was great. It was a great appearance.
Oh, the Cruel Kids table. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. There they all are.
And so it's, I don't know. It's nutty, man.
Bottom left is I'm just looking at the tweets. Oh, yep. Here's the full page with the blacks.
Yeah, so they purposely cut the black sound to keep their narrative going, and it's like we live in wild times, man. We live in wild times.
Wow, that is absolutely bonkers. Yeah. Okay. So, and what did Brett have to say? She was like defending her kin, her brethren. I can't. Brett running those circles? Is she running the Upper East Side WASP-esque circles? I don't think
so. No, because she's keeping it country, but she is country. She's kind of a country girl. When she was younger, her family moved to LA to get her, to try to get her an actress career, and she's been in things when she was younger. But she originally comes from farmland, and so she lives in Nashville with her husband, and they have a farm.
Okay,
so she's living that life. But she was just in defense of them, and she was pointing out that if you looked at pictures and people talking from that party, it was gays, it was blacks, it was every type of person, because the idea that conservatives or say Republicans are anti any of those things, I still think is a ridiculous narrative.
Here's the crazy thing, man. Here's the absolute crazy thing. It's not a crazy narrative, because that was the mainline conservative message a decade ago. Maybe some would say shorter than a decade ago. I would say the message started to warm definitely the first Trump victory over the Republican primaries. And I'll never forget this moment when he showed up after winning the Republican primaries and he said the word gay at the convention, and they clapped. He's like, look at you. That's good. They clapped. I was like, what is happening right now?
No, I feel you, but here's what I'm saying. The Civil War was run by Republicans who were saving blacks from evil Democrats, right?
Right.
Over time, the parties kind of switched orbits, right?
Yes, of course.
Rotating, and they suddenly kind of switched on a position where Republicans were not looking out for black interests and Democrats were.
Exactly. Okay.
But the narrative is switching back around. And at what point do people catch up with, they have to pay attention that the narrative is moving. What it is I think people get stuck in their belief. Our parents are probably going to die absolutely believing that the Democratic Party is their friend.
Yeah.
They're like, that's it. They're my friend because they helped me in the 60s.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Don't get me started. You almost pulled me into that one, man. No politician anywhere at any time that hasn't spent any time in your community is your friend. You're just an interest and a vote. That's all it is, man.
Absolutely.
But back to Brett Cooper, right? I'm happy to see her come back. And I don't even care about this woman. I stand by what I said. She is not my cup of tea in regards to content. But what she's doing in this episode, I do enjoy this level of consistency where it's like she basically says, we fought this 10-year social war as conservatives to get from point A to point B. But isn't the point of this to win people to our position, not to ostracize them? And I'm like, oh, that is a sick thing for a person to say. When I'm saying sick, I mean it in a cool way. Like a sick
the way the kids 10 years ago said.
The kids 40 years ago listening to Eminem said it for a secularist, because as far as I know, I've never heard her espouse any religious views or anything like that. She doesn't generalize everyone should be good, do good things, and the highest morality type of thing. But that's a crazy point of view, because it's like, are you not trying to win people to your position? Are you not trying to bring them over to the conservative way of thinking in regards to fiscal matters, social matters? And if a person, because she's talking about, I believe her name is Brittany Cummings, that not funny comedian who made some jokes that weren't funny at the expense of CNN, even though that in itself is hilarious. Because
it was hysterical.
The CNN New Year's special sucks, whether they're drunk or not, bro. But it really sucks when they're not drunk. And to see Brittany Cummings make fun of the vaccines and all that stuff, and she was a pro-vaxxer when the COVID thing happened. It's crazy, but I agree with Brett, man. She's coming over to our side. Do you need to question her sincerity? Just like anyone that comes to a new position, give them time to grow in it, right? Does that make sense or not?
Yeah, no, I agree. And it is funny that we actually just did an episode, me and you, where we were taking a big old deuce on Ben Shapiro and his gatekeeping of conservatism, right? He feels that he can cancel. He alone tells you who the real conservatives are.
Yeah.
Right. Which is nuts. That's definitely, and it's so funny that she happened to spark on that. That certainly is the zeitgeist, going on. Let's see what her intro is.
And welcome to the Brett Cooper Show. I am so happy that you guys found me over here on this new channel. I am so excited to start this new chapter with you guys. We have been hard at work behind the scenes, literally boots on the ground, me and my 80-year-old neighborhood grandpa putting shiplap up on the ceilings to cover up my 90s popcorn ceilings that I thought you guys would not find aesthetically pleasing on a set. We're literally in a room at my house. We put this all together. Anyway, I am so excited to bring this new show to you and show you guys what we have been working on. So my goal with this new show is to foster understanding, to go deeper and extract substance in the stories and the issues that matter most to us, the issues that impact us on a daily personal basis. And I have always said this, but I want to reiterate it, that I'm shocked that she was not cut off. And of course,
I watched it.
Went viral on X. Some people had never heard of her before. They were so excited to find, another brave and honest comedian who was willing to push.
So let me ask you, what do you think of, like, compared to our old show? What do you think of the production quality?
Production quality is much better. It's more mature, right? I'm so glad those freaking headphones are gone, and they need to stay gone, bro. And she doesn't need to pretend to be some Zoomer streamer, you know what I'm saying, sitting and with a funny camera angle, looking up with the chat running off in the background, and I can't see what's going on because I'm reading the chat. Just speak to the camera, speak to the issues, It was supposed to be her bedroom, and they had like neon lights in the background. Yeah,
I'm like,
no one was buying that. No one was buying that, man. No one. Listen, be an adult. Get you a stream set up with a door in the background. All right, that's when people know you mean business, right?
Well, we all know that's the door to hell.
It is, and I go back there and I recuperate. I think it's good, man. I think it's good. I think it's really good, actually. She looks more mature, and I don't mean that in a sexual, like, desire way. Like,
I do.
Okay. She seems like an adult to me now. I think that was one of the things that initially was not my bag when I showed up to her show. Was she seemed like a very articulate, intelligent teenager, and now she seems like a fully formed, maturing adult.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, because you know what, they were trying to keep her young because she was supposed to be young bait, right?
Yeah.
Bring in the young people.
Yeah, the youngest. Have you read any of the comments? What are the comments saying about her triumphant return?
Let's see what it has to say.
Love
how she got 1 million views in 6 hours, and YouTube isn't putting this on the trending list. Literally hilarious.
Yeah.
Not only did she leave Daily Wire, but she took good ranchers with her, winning. I think that that change from a fake room studio to a real room in a real house is very symbolic on its own. So good to see you free and on your own.
Yep.
Congratulations on 1 million. The comment section made the biggest mistake of their lives, letting you leave the show. Girl, it was all you. Wish you every success. Wow, look at all this positivity.
Yeah. Now the question becomes in the stream wars, which are real, how does this maintain? I think she's got a bright, independent career ahead of her, man. Costs are going to be lower right now. She's got her own studio in the house. Write that off as a tax write-off, right? Got to know how to save some money. You know, I like the new mic. I assume that's an Apple. That's why she's got the logos, covered up. I think it's going to go well, man. And if she keeps on this path, talking about genuine topics, and to spice it up, throw in the stuff that people know her for, and it's still basically the same show as before. It just seems different, same but different. You understand what I'm saying? Seems more
absolutely. I think we're in for a lot of fun going forward. It's gonna be a good time. Supposedly her and Candace are gonna do frequent collaborations. They're thinking.
Oh, where'd you hear that at? Where'd you hear
on Candace's show?
Really?
Candace says, yeah. She said, me and her are going to work something out. We might do a weekly stream. We're not sure yet. And I was like, yeah.
Bro, you know what the crazy part about this is, man? I would have never thunk it in 2016. The first time I watched, I think, a Daily Wire video around that time, that they would have ascended the way they did, and that their descent would seem so inevitable. I mean, they still got Jordan Peterson, right? They still got Jordan Peterson.
They still have Matt Walsh. I watch Matt Walsh all the time, and he's got his numbers. Yeah. They're not destroyed yet.
No. I don't really tune in for a Ben Shapiro take anymore. I haven't in quite some time, because it became apparent to me. I was like, well, you know what my gripe is. If you're gonna, take social shots at people for their crazy liberal views, your people have to be on the menu as well. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
They just do Ben. You got to serve them up. You got to bring them over. At any rate, man. Can't believe you brought up academics.
I don't know if I did. Somebody did. It somehow
I'm pretty sure it was you. If we checked it.
But before we get into the very serious topic, of my Calvin Robinson, let us as long as we're on the topic of young women who stream, I want to talk about this one. Our lovely Amala has a very interesting video for us.
Wait, give me a sec. Give me a sec for Amala. Bro, can you answer me a question? What is Blaze? Blaze is another conservative network, right?
Yeah.
Okay, who is still left over at Blaze? Is that where your girl Allie McStuckey?
Yeah, Allie Beth Stuckey. I'm not sure if many people are. I know Young Rippa was for a while. I don't know if he still is.
Yeah. I hope Young Rippa gets saved, man. I hope he goes the path of Gothics. Gothics lost a lot of people once she stopped just talking straight conservative talk. Let's see. Okay, there she is. There's Mantis, true love.
Oh, this is a great video, I have to say. This is absolutely a great video.
All right. And she left PragerU, right? She's not on Prager anymore?
Yeah, no, she's independent.
Okay.
Honestly, I wonder what the benefit of, other than getting discovered in the first place, I wonder what the benefit for being under a banner or not. Like, what if Matt Walsh was to be like, you know what, I'm going to do this on my own, and he walked out? Is he making more or less, or what's the deal?
I don't know. I would assume that one of the obvious benefits would be that you have promotion, you're insulated with a legal team, someone to deal with YouTube directly for if you get demonetized and stuff like that. Where if you're a rogue, like fresh and fit, you're on your own. They're not returning your phone calls. You have access to traditional media. Daily Wire definitely has access. Prager definitely has access. I would believe Blaze has access. Booking agents, right? Having that infrastructure to deal with things to help grow your brand. Only thing is, the trade-off is they own your channel, right? So all the revenue and all the residual revenue that it makes from your favorite, the videos you make, that all goes to them. But you stepping away obviously leads to a sustainable career, because now people recognize you from that platform. And of course, they're going to tune in more because they're like, oh, now we're going to get Mantis's unedited thoughts without Steve holding a contract over his head. Like, you listen here, you albino son of a. I tell you to say.
Okay, thank you for explaining that. Dragon Lady says, guys, sorry, not at my best. I'll talk to you later. Take care. You'll feel better, Dragon Lady. I know everyone's getting ill. Flus are going all over the place. People are barfing up a storm. Feel better.
The poo flu. All right, let's see what this young lady has to say.
Let's see. Let's check this out, shall we?
For you guys today, a rapper by the name of Dank DeMoss is now suing the rideshare company Lyft and one of its drivers after she was denied entry into a Lyft car because the driver told her, "You're too big. You are not going to fit in my car." Now she's crying fat phobia and body shaming, and she's bringing a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the driver and the rideshare app. Now, is she truly a victim of oppression in this case, or
so the question is, and that's actually, let me finish her or
did she get a reality check? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. And so for the chat, for everyone who's listening, for all our Riz Radio listeners, you've heard it here. So this woman, 500 pounds, and I'm not body shaming or anything like that, calls a regular Uber. The guy says, doesn't give her a chance, but he's like, you can't fit in this car. Sorry. You won't get charged. And he drives off. Now she's suing. How do we feel about that?
Okay. Do we have any pictures of the car in question?
I think they will. I think they will in the video. Let's see. Let's check this out.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
All right, guys, before we get into today's video, please like and subscribe. We're going to jump straight into an article on this one. This is out of NBC News. It's going to explain the situation that took place with this woman named Dank DeMoss. I'm not joking. This says Detroit rapper Dank DeMoss is suing the rideshare company.
Sorry, say again?
I could see how she could have been like an insufferable, like liberal at one point, man. Like I could see how like she would be. I could see how she would have been hard to deal with at a dinner party.
So she made a video the other week that I actually like. I even advised her in the comments. I'm a nobody to her, but she did like it. I was like, "Don't give these fools any airtime. That's what they want." But a podcast called, I think it's called Transparent or Transparency. It's a trans person. Attacking her, bringing up the fact that she used to be a liberal. That's exactly what you're talking about. And they had evidence that when she started on YouTube, she was talking liberal points.
Well, she has admitted it's hard to expose something that someone has said and made a part of their brand. Like
I didn't know that, but that is funny.
Oh, you didn't know that about her? That's a part of her testimony. She spoke about it like she used to be a hardcore liberal.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to be.
You still are.
Okay. Because according to some of my family members, I'm the cause of all the problems in the world.
That's also true.
Like this whole deportation thing, that's me, apparently. Our future wars, that's me.
You're at the head of all the wrong tables, bro. I've been telling you this for life. I know it's you.
The fact that all these white guys think they can say whatever they want on the internet without being arrested, that's me too.
Finally, you've embraced it.
Well, let's see what she's got.
Lyft, alleging she wasn't allowed to enter a car she ordered due to her weight. DeMoss shared video on Instagram on January 19th that captured the interaction with an alleged Lyft driver who denied her a ride. "I'm sorry, I got no space. My car is small," the driver said in the clip. "I can fit in this car," DeMoss, 29, replied. "Believe me, you can't. So I'm sorry. I'm going to cancel the ride. You're not going to be charged," the driver replied. "So you're telling me I can't get in the Lyft because I can't fit in your car? So are you really telling me I'm too big to get in your car? So I've got to order another Lyft," DeMoss said. The driver responded, "Yeah, you need to order a bigger car." He went on to say that he had an issue with his tires as a reason that she couldn't ride in the car. DeMoss announced the lawsuit Tuesday on social media, posting videos of herself with her attorneys. Okay. Whew. Now, the lawsuit was filed in Wayne County Circuit Court, and the lawsuit writes that Lyft and the driver are violating Michigan's Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act, which prohibits discriminatory practices based on religion, race, color, age, sex, height, weight, and familial status. Now,
okay, so hold on. But here's what I'm saying. This is
okay.
No, not that I'm shocked that these are on the books, but this is an example of like how do we prosecute or how do we allow these laws to exist when, like, for instance, what is he supposed to do if she doesn't physically fit in the car?
Do we have pictures of the car? And do we have a side by of her in the car in question?
Well let's watch on.
of course, this story is wild, and because there's videos and because this girl is such a wacky character, it has been picked up by the news. Let's run a clip.
Georgia Blanding tells us she was just trying to get to a Detroit Lions watch party this month when her Lyft rolled up.
As I'm walking, I see him like making faces or whatever. I'm like, oh man.
She already knew.
I can fit in this car.
Believe me, you can.
Yes, I can.
Believe it.
He told her there's not enough room in his car.
The kicker part was when he started to talk about his tires. You know, I feel like that was a slap in the face. That was like my tires, you know, like.
The driver said his tires could not handle her weight.
For every big person you turn down because they can't fit in your car?
Yeah, because they need to order the Uber XL.
No, I don't never have to order Uber XL.
So I can hear his car. It doesn't sound like it's in the best state. He probably shouldn't be allowed to drive anyone around in that thing. Okay.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. It does sound like a shitty car. This poor guy, and this is the type of thing that these activists do. He's this poor guy who has a crappy car. Maybe he's doing Lyft so that he can just make a little money and get it fixed, and he has to deal with this crap.
Yeah.
Right, and so like he's gonna get sued now because of this. This is ridiculous. But like here's what I just want to point out to people. So she's bigger than Mantis by more than a human, at least more than a human. But what I'm saying is, let's say he takes 3 people who are 150 pounds each, right?
Yeah,
that's still lighter than her. I mean, this is an extreme case, and I don't think that he should be able to, or anyone should be able to be sued over these kind of extreme cases.
Beck says, I seen the video. She could have squeezed in there. But honestly, why would you want to squeeze into anything?
Yes. She said she could have squeezed. I mean, technically you could squeeze anyone, or he could tie her to the roof or something. Right. Like she was a Christmas tree or a fattened ham. But the point is, why should he have to go to all these extreme things? He's going to be spending a half an hour pulling her out.
Oh, man. How much is she suing for?
Let's find out.
He apologized, canceled the ride, and left her there. The rapper says she's pretty tough. Dank DeMoss, as she's known at the mic, is crushed by the whole situation.
I just want them to know, like, it really hurt my feelings.
It looks like a Lyft might be hurting pretty soon, too.
I knew it was illegal, and I knew that it was wrong.
Her attorneys, John Marco and Zach Runyon, say weight is a protected characteristic in Michigan by law.
It would be no different than a driver pulling up and saying, you know, I don't want to have black people in my car. Or I want to have Christians in my car. Or Muslims.
Okay, he just said that. You all heard that. This is what the guy is comparing it to. What are our thoughts on this?
Oh man, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming, but I wasn't prepared for it. I wasn't prepared for it, man. No different. I mean, discrimination is a spectrum, right? Discriminatory practices, but was he discriminating? Did he? Let's start there. In the past, when black people have been denied rides, or Latinos, Asians, Arabs, whomever have been denied a ride in a nice New York City yellow cab, it wasn't like the yellow cab screamed obscenities when they left. We just knew why they didn't pick us up, right? You happen to see you 6 times in a row, you have a good idea. this is a question of public safety, is it not? Is that not what the driver was saying? He stopped to talk to her and he wasn't like, listen, your kind and the way you live your life.
Right. He's worried about breaking down. He's worried about his tires going out. That's the point. So my question is, if I were to become a human porcupine, mutate, right? I got superpowers, and spikes came out of my back and I had all these spikes.
Right.
Is someone obligated to drive me because of some discrimination rule, even though I'm going to destroy their car by simply
that would
sitting
be
in it?
discriminatory, because if you just happen to mutate, you didn't have any control over that. Just like people don't have control over the race they're born into, and they should be proud of whatever they are.
Absolutely. So the follow-up question is,
there's a lifestyle choice that I think I know where you're going. There's a lifestyle choice here that needs to be addressed, right? And the last time I tried to address this lifestyle choice, I was on a show called Dope Dynamics, and a bunch of people got mad. And I understand that there are medical conditions that can lead a person to being this size. But here's the thing. Society, or moments in society, won't always be able to meet your immediate need. Do you understand what I'm saying?
right.
Things
We have to understand that maybe someone isn't ready.
The infrastructure isn't always going to be able to support what you need and the care you need to be provided. And I thought I said that quite well.
I think you did. I think you absolutely did. It was very articulate
No.
for your kind.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, I pulled a Trump joke. There's a Trump joke.
Oh, I mean, that's another thing we didn't talk about with Trump, the amendment statement. He's like, this was made for the descendants of slaves, not illegal immigrants. Did you not hear that?
No, I did, and I mean, agree with it. I agree with the statement.
That's your statement. It was so funny that the Pan-African FBA community came out in droves, like, yes, someone said it, and I'm like,
right. When he was inaugurated, he made multiple references to Trump. Not Trump, to Dr. King's speech. I have a dream, and so you know what it is. I actually gotta say, I love Trump because he's never scared to say anything.
Yeah. Now,
and meanwhile, the other side is polices your speech.
Yeah. Now, if he'd have pulled up on this woman, Trump would have been like,
it would have been, yes. He would have said some really insensitive stuff, but stuff that's probably true.
All right, let's hit it. Let's see what Amala has to say. I'm not pronouncing her name correct, and I don't have to.
I mean, it's some African nonsense, but
Muslims in my car. It's the same. Under the law, it's the same.
The lawsuit is filed. Since she posted the encounter on social media, other full-figured folks have reached out saying the same thing happened to them.
Let me sit down. Full-figured folks, sit down and be honest with yourself. If this is illegal, lock me up. Lock me up and throw it. If this is illegal, lock me up. What is going on? And you can see it in the lawyer's face. Even he knows what he's up to is wrong. He says it's the same. It's the same. He sort of stumbles over his words and then says, under the law, it's the same. You know damn well that law needs to be changed. If this is something wrong, that woman looks damn near 500 pounds, if not more. And she says she knew when the car rolled up because the guy was making faces. Did you maybe know when the car rolled up because you saw the shape of the car and realized that you might have some difficulty fitting into this car? And he realized it too. I'm sorry, but this woman is now a confirmed 489 pounds. And if you're a Lyft driver who doesn't want 489 pounds sitting on one side of your car, I think that's okay. But apparently it's not. We're going to refer back to this article because after the driver drove off, DeMoss was apparently unable to attend her cousin's party. And as a result, she suffered stress, humiliation, mental anguish, and emotional damage, the complaint says. Now, she posted this video online and Lyft actually responded, apologizing for the actions of the driver. The apology reads, at Dank DeMoss, we're disheartened to look at this driver's unacceptable behavior. Please DM us at your earliest convenience for additional support. We'd like to address this as soon as possible. And I'm sorry, what? What is Lyft apologizing for? What are they disheartened by? The driver did the logical thing in that if I feel like this person is too big to fit in my car, maybe I shouldn't allow them to be in my car. The one that I own, the one that I'm paying for, that every service for this car I'm forking out out money for, I don't need to allow her to be in the back of my car. But Lyft has to apologize because we're in this culture that tiptoes around people's marginalized identity. And I guess your body composition is now part of that, even though it seems like she's directly contributing to her lot in life when it comes to her weight. We have to act like this is somehow a protected class and that this Lyft driver is in the wrong. And you know damn well he isn't. And you know what? This civil rights law may have written out that this is a clear-cut case of discrimination. And if so, we need to revisit the law. I'm so sick of being like looked dead in the face and told not to believe my eyes. I'm looking at this woman who is nearly 500 pounds and I'm thinking about what she does when she travels by.
So here's the thing. Now, this is not a conspiracy, but it's something I hold to. Sometimes I wonder if these frivolous things, and I'm calling this frivolous, right? This is insanity that's gained so much notoriety, but whatever, man, to each their own. I just don't know if I can bring myself not to believe that these things aren't happening so people see how crazy it is and then attach it to these laws to have them rolled back when they once upon a time served a very needed reason. That's right. My black militant side is coming out. I wonder if this shit isn't happening. Pardon my language. I'm sorry. It's been weeks, months, maybe even since I cursed. But if this isn't happening to target my community by having external people piggyback on our movement to have these laws repealed, because how can you not see this living in middle America and go, you heard what she just said, we need to revisit the law. Why do we need to revisit the law? Throw the lawsuit out. Throw her out, bro.
No, when she means revisit, I think she means amend, and she means like get rid of the fat portion of it. But
I hope so. Narrow it. But once you start revisiting and start changing, I'm just telling you.
Because a person's race doesn't necessarily, it doesn't affect the health of a car. It's not going to damage the car. They're not going to get stuck in there because of the color, because the color of their skin. It's just like it's like so a different thing. It's like so absolutely a different thing. Or like, here's another one. What if she was handicapped? What if she was in a wheelchair and had oxygen tanks?
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. You need to, for instance, you can't discriminate against that person. However, you would have to call a special type of Uber.
Yeah.
Not any Uber can accommodate that. And so that's the same thing that a woman, no offense to this rapper chick, should have to call a specialized type of Uber.
Exactly. And Beck says, apologizing is just good customer service, but I get what she's saying.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, man. This is great.
If Donald Trump was running it, they would say that, Bex. He said this is not going to straight up say, nah, bitch, you're fat.
Wait, did Beck?
Yeah. But I just feel that Donald Trump, if it was his business, if he was the Uber driver, he would have said it.
For sure, man.
So you think you got in it one more story tonight?
Yeah, let me just get the recording queued up. Talk to the people. Folks, if you're wondering why we go through all this stuff, it's because you can catch this replay on Riz Radio, uninterrupted, nice, curated segments. Yeah. It's a professional show.
Listen to today's best music and the best indie music that can be found today, man. We play it all on Riz Radio. Just check us out, man. Monday through Friday, 6 to 10 p.m.
Donate to the channel.
Yeah, donate, man. What are you people doing?
Donate to the channel. I need new t-shirts.
I need new wheels for my car. I need a fat chick a ride. And, another reason I'm allowed to say all this because I'm a fat. Okay. And so I've been doing all my exercises. I've been doing all my dieting because I don't want to end up like that. And that's another thing. Sometimes I actually wonder, how do people let it get that bad?
You're taking the word back. Life happens, man. Life happens to some people, and then other things happen, and they just, they give up, bro. I don't know. Or, it could be, I don't, let me just say it, man. There's that woman there, man. I hope she has a genetic disorder. Let me just say that. I hope that's what caused that, man. And it wasn't just woeful Like,
it could be. Yeah, you are right. Maybe those
I don't
extreme
know if I'm
cases
right.
are genetic.
I hope. I'm hoping against
Right.
hope that it wasn't just a lifestyle choice. You know what I'm saying?
Just
And
eating chips all day long.
Stopping at Popeyes, 3 chicken breasts when you know you should only got 1, extra biscuits, mac and cheese to wash it down, maybe a strawberry shake to loosen it up. You know what I'm saying? What else we talking about tonight, man?
Well, we have yet to talk about my man Calvin Robinson.
Oh, Calvin Robinson. Hi, Yella Mella. Man, how are you going to treat him like that, man? I thought this was a progressive time we were living in. A man's allowed to have his opinion.
And so this triggered me. This absolutely.
Yeah, you were pissed.
Yeah.
Bex says she is not donating until you get YouTube Premium. You sent me a story, Bex? What'd you send me?
Do I want to pay these guys? Do you want to pay YouTube?
No, man. You pay out enough, bro. I think you're fine. Man. Just get a good ad blocker.
Yeah, man, Bex, what are you doing to me? What are you doing to me, girl? And so actually, let's first share the image. Or no, let's go straight to the story. I'll read the image. It is my man Calvin Robinson, and so
Calvin Robinson.
Calvin Robinson is no longer an ACC priest since he's been making rounds today for obvious reasons. I want to announce that this afternoon, Archbishop Mark Haverland revoked the clerical license of Calvin Robinson. As such, he is no longer able to function as a priest of the Anglican Catholic Church, or for that matter, any of the G3 jurisdictions. I do not yet have a formal public statement to be shared, but this was confirmed to be directly by the ABP. Haverland via email with his permission to make this public.
Oof. Now, is this video going to show us what he did? Because all I saw was
what he's accused of.
What is? Oh, sorry. What? But what did he do?
So actually, why don't we take a look? Why don't we take a look and see how we feel about what he supposedly has done?
When you look at Gaza, remember who's responsible.
Nice.
Hamas operates from civilian
settings. That was the last episode, folks.
Why is there an ad for Gaza? What is happening?
It's because it's one of these, it's one of these news outlets where they have to they got to pay the bills.
No, but and there's literally a vacation ad for Gaza.
No, it's not a vacation.
What is going on here?
It's more upbeat than it should be when talking about Gaza. That guy was definitely not the voice actor to hire for this situation.
Okay, yeah, this link is it's not going to bring me to the actual thing. All
right, let's see it.
No, then it's not going to show me the video.
Yeah,
every time I hit it, an ad for that starts up.
I'll find the video. I got you. What's his name?
It's got to be a video. I don't want them to have a photo or whatever because
yeah, because photos can lie. I get you. Oh man, I forgot this brother used to have an afro, man.
Yeah.
What's his name? Calvin Robinson, right?
Yeah. Have you seen any of his work?
I've seen a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. He does some great essays. He does some great speeches, great sermons. He is old school. He's traditional. He's biblical. He's biblically sound.
Yeah.
And what it is they've been gunning for this guy because he's not given in to, I'm going to say it, the woke mob.
But I thought the mob had been disbanded.
I thought they were done for as well. But, they're, you know what it is? They're hiding in the Anglican Church.
Like, they'll never find us here. Fire that fool.
Exactly. Just like, they say that Satan, this whole thing, conspiracy theory that Satan is hiding in the Vatican.
Oh, he's definitely in there. That doesn't mean that all Catholics, but it's great. Never mind. I sent you the video. I was about to go on a tirade. Right?
He was about to go on a tirade that would finally get us canceled. The final cancellation.
It's because I've been watching all these debates between Protestants and Catholics, man. It's like no one really most of them don't address their this is more of a layman podcast, but they don't address the other person's side. It's literally like a gang war. They're just lobbing shots at each other. I love it. I'm here for it.
I actually love debates like that. Yeah, no, that's a good time. Here we go.
Priest is no longer part of the church after a gesture he made during a Washington, D.C. conference this weekend went viral.
Calvin Robinson was the former priest in charge at St. Paul's Anglican Church off Lake Michigan Drive in Grand Rapids. And yesterday, the Anglican Church said they revoked his license.
13 on your sides. Micah Cho joins us now with exactly what happened. Micah.
Lena and Juliet, as a speaker during Saturday's pro-life summit, Robinson ended his 10-minute speech with a salute, similar to one Elon Musk did during President Donald Trump's
watch it.
inauguration.
It's so ridiculous.
And that has sparked nationwide controversy.
I hope that I can encourage you, and my heart goes out to you. God bless.
Those were the words in action. Grand Rapids priest Calvin Robinson.
Yeah, you know what it is? So you know, here I'm gonna say this to you. You are one sensitive.
No.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Wait, you're about to jump down a rabbit trail, and you have no idea. And this is exactly why people are able to give conservatives the poo that they give them. He was clearly being cute. He was mocking the situation there.
I admit that.
That's what it is, bro. That's what it is. You're saying I don't believe
that's not the same thing as actually doing a salute, right? And so I'm going to do it for my own cancellation.
No, listen. You're not listening. You're listening through your anger, but you're not being objective. He did a thing. And there are consequences of doing that thing. I don't agree with him losing his job or any of that stuff. But when he smiled, he knew that what he was referencing. And that's why the audience laughed. What no one could predict was that everyone was going to freak out over it. And here you are. I want to talk to you about your knee-jerk reaction. You see what you did there? You're too sensitive, bro. You were really about to go there with me, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. yeah, I was. And so... I still think I'm still going to argue that you're sensitive.
Why am I sensitive?
Because remember when we did the episode about Elon? So your take on it.
My take on it was, if you go watch it, I was like, this is an idiotic thing to do, and I'm laughing at it. Like your defense of him was he's autistic. He shouldn't have done the gesture. And I'm like, well, if he can't handle not doing it.
No. You know what it is? It's a pretty simple thing. I've accidentally done it before. I have.
Yeah, I told you.
And you know what? That you have too. And if we were living in a different age, no one would call either of us on it.
But here's
somebody's
the thing,
touching your chest, and then they
no.
Like that.
Let me stop you right there. I've actually done the Zeke House salute, like in a picture. It's floating around on the internet. Well, I'm mocking a bunch of Nazis that I'm around because I'm like, how the hell did I end up in this situation? But here's the thing that I think I see you struggling with, man. I'm
not struggling with anything, brother.
You alluded to this one night when we were talking about Trump's ascent to the presidency, and I've seen this, and it's not just you. It's with a lot of conservatives. You don't want any negative press at all, right? And I always look at it as like people do dumb stuff on both sides of the aisle. I'm not sensitive to it. If I was Trump, though, I'd be like, man, listen, I'm trying to maintain a public winning streak. I can't have people that can't not help me win doing silly things. That's my approach to it. Like, I'm trying to keep the brand alive. That doesn't have anything to do with sensitivity. It's like, look, Elon, you get one gaffe. Everyone gets one gaffe. You know what makes Star's show amazing? Star will have people up, and he's like, hey, no cursing on my show. And Star curses through the whole show, but that's his brand. He just can't risk it on other people. Trump's got a brand to protect, and right now his brand is winning. Your defense of Elon was you literally said
no.
this.
Okay, you know what it is. You're saying that my defense of Elon. You're saying one of many things that I said about the defense of Elon, for starters. But what I am saying is my argument is that anyone who were to watch the Elon video. It's obvious it's true. Calvin is referencing the Elon video.
Yes.
But anyone, and remember, you were part of it. You were part of the group of people who were doing this, who did say, I don't know. I think he may have done it. anyone who saw what Elon was doing, I would say there is something wrong with your thought process. There's something wrong with the way you see the world. If you looked at what he did and you said that's a Nazi salute.
Bro, go look at my message in the group, and this is why it's good to have timestamps on these things. I literally responded to what Shaolin was saying. I was like, I don't know, man. It looks bad, but I don't think that's what it meant.
In our video. I'm talking about in our video. Not
Even in the video, for levity's sake, it is a bonehead move, man. It just is. You can't defend it.
I can defend it. I will absolutely defend it. And what it is that you're giving in to the woke mob.
No, this is what makes, bro, it's this type of lowbrow statement that makes conservatives seem insane. I'm not giving it into any woke mob. I have no allegiance to the woke mob. And
my argument is that it wasn't a stupid gaffe to do, and that it is completely innocent, 1,000% over.
Okay, so your argument is that if you deem it that it's innocent, then if anyone has a rebuttal and I say, yo, that was a dumb move, but not calling it Nazi, that makes them woke?
Wait, say that again?
You just likened me to wokeness because I said that was a stupid move. So your argument, your logical response is that if I critique it, I'm like, yo, man, I have an image to protect. I don't need people who can't not do dumb shit next to me. That's woke?
So I said anyone who would, here's what it is. What I compare to woke is anyone who would connect that, what Elon was doing, Elon's moves or whatever, to if their mind goes, that's a Nazi salute, I would argue is woke.
Okay.
Because they're on the hyper defensive mode of what people are doing with their hands. It's kind of like back in the early days when people used to say this was a white supremacist symbol. This is not a white supremacist symbol. This is the universal symbol for okay.
Yeah, I got you. Here's what I'm saying.
Right?
This is the universal symbol for okay, right? And definitely this is the universal symbol for okay. No one's going to argue that. Anyone
they used to argue the opposite. They used to say that's a Nazi symbol.
Mantis. Here's where you and I differ, man. Do I think Elon's a Nazi? I don't know. I don't see. I haven't seen any literature come up on X or anything like that. No video footage. I don't know the man's heart. I hold him to the same objective standard as everyone else. But what I do know is that move right there. Unless I've been on this planet 43 years, I never knew that this meant my heart out to you. I never knew that. I've never seen anyone else do anything like that, but I have seen the Nazi salute. And like I said, I was like, I would not want you making those type of mistakes. There are a million things you can do with your hands, man.
A finite number of things you can do with your hands, and sometimes a chest touch is followed by a wave, a handout, whatever it is. And so what I'm saying is, I admit he was playful. Calvin was being playful, but he's being playful about something that was ridiculous. Right, and so the criticism of it is that, and you realize what they're doing, right? You realize what they have inadvertently done. They have now brought back, and I'm talking about liberals, not the conservatives. They have now brought back the I don't know what the word for it is. That hand symbol. You know why? Because now as conservatives, to prove that we have freedom of speech and to rub it in people's woke dumbass faces, we're gonna have to keep doing it now.
Wait, what do you mean you have to keep doing it? What do you mean?
Just to prove that we can do it. Just to prove that we will say and do whatever we want, and we'll definitely do things that piss you people off. We will keep doing it.
Wait. That's the part I don't understand. Are you compelled? You're under compulsion to do it? Why?
Wait, you're saying when I do this, it annoys people? It annoys lefties? I'm going to keep doing it.
That's where I differ, man, and I'm happy to be in the line of being pragmatic. I try not to be emotional about these things. I find it all hilarious. Even in that moment right there, he knew what he was doing was a wink and a nod at a social moment.
Right.
And
I admit that.
Here's the unfortunate part. Even though anytime I disagree with you, the first thing you go to is you're woke.
That is not true. That is not true. This is the first time I ever accused you of being woke. That is great. That is that you say every time. That is not true at all.
This is not the first.
This is literally the first time I think I've ever used that word in conjunction with you.
That is not true at all. It's the first time since we've been sober you've said it.
I've never on Fanboy been like, Steve, you're so because you're not woke. You're not normally woke. I don't know what happened to you. You took the woke pill or something.
No, man, I am being pragmatic, concerned. This is what Brett was talking about. You guys are losing your mind. Maybe victory isn't good for you. Maybe you guys, you're fat on victory right now.
Yeah. Yo, we're fat on rubbing in liberals' faces. So my heart out to you is now a new thing, and they've created it. They have willed it so.
And that's part of my conspiracy. The fat people pretending that their civil rights movement is being, all that stuff. This is how you usher it back in. Nothing can be offensive because nothing's offensive because anyone has a personal liberty to say anything. But there is, well, let me just put it this way. You know what? As a secularist, you do have the right to do anything you want. I have no control over you, but you will be judged according to that. And
God is not going to judge anybody for a hand symbol they've ever done. I promise.
Unfortunately, God will judge you based off of your heart behind the hand signal. And that's the one thing that people don't understand. This is why I love Christendom and the Christian worldview. I can't prove anything about you. But if you do believe in the here and after where you have to hold account for why you did things and what your motivation are, you're not answering to me. You're not
trolling people is not a sin, and nowhere in the Bible does it say you can't troll people.
Mantis, if you literally go to James and it talks about what is good religion, there's a point where if you have a reckless mouth, that's a sin, and your reckless mouth extends to your behavior.
Except to your hand. Except to a reckless mouth also includes a hand. Okay,
you can do what you want. I've always maintained that. You can say whatever word you want. You can do what you want. Be free. Be the best you.
And we finally can again.
But here's the thing. There are always consequences for the things you do. Now, you better be ready to deal with whatever comes next. Now, is this man a Nazi? Obviously, he's not a Nazi. I will say that it's not going to help when people realize that he's speaking at the right response.
Well, what is he? He was at a pro-life. He was at a pro-life.
No, not that. The right response ministries with Joel Webb and these guys who are right now in the scrutiny of even other conservative Protestants over their Christian national views. I'm just saying that you have to be willing to go out. If you're going to go out as a martyr, you got to go out as a martyr. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to take everything that comes with it. Now, hey, buddy, listen, I got your back, man. If we're in public, you feel like doing the Z Kyle, yeah, okay.
I can't believe the left is making me do a Zig Heil now.
What do you mean they're making you do it?
They are making me do it. They are Steve, how do you not understand this? They are making me do it.
No, help me understand. How are they making you do it? You're an intelligent man. No one can make you do anything you don't want to do.
Here's what I'm saying. In a realistic, like being serious, obviously I was talking about it, but I am saying the more they fight against this, it's just going to breed more of it. That's what I'm really getting at.
You think it's the new Christ is King thing?
Yeah, exactly. As soon as they banned Christ is King, everyone on the internet was declaring Christ is King, right? And so who is anyone to say that you can't say that, right? And so I'm telling you, this is going to start what it is. This witch hunt on people who have accidentally or even playfully done this gesture. It's now going to mutate into a thing. I bet you anything within a couple of months, there will be a group that's their symbol. That's their sign.
There will be a group that's their symbol.
It's interesting that history is cyclical, right? It's fascinating.
Somewhere that particular group we're talking about is like, hey man, we might be welcome back at Starbucks pretty soon.
Oh my God. Good work, liberals. Good work, liberals. Thank you for that. Thank you for bringing back
Santa Claus that we were watching earlier. He addressed this. The liberals are saying, "Oh, you guys have brought the white nationalists or the Christian, crazy people." to the front, and he's like, no, this you created this with your petri dish and the response type of deal. So there is a back and forth here, but poor Calvin Robinson, right? Brother's name is Calvin. They don't get much blacker than that. Calvin and Robinson.
Yeah, he's super black. Are you kidding me? not putting up with the crap his church is all about is as black as it gets.
Yeah.
D says Mantis, that's a satanic symbol. Is it?
But folks, just let Mantis have this. He's gonna fight you tooth and nail.
I will have my satisfaction.
This is the conspiracy episode. Hold on. He's dug in. he's not gonna take any L's on this topic.
And look, she says the man is not a Nazi. He was hugging his Mexican workers the other day.
His Mexican worker.
I think she's talking about Elon. I don't think she's doing Calvin, but Max says Mantis would be kicked off my campaign bus ASAP. He doesn't seem to understand optics in this situation, D. And when it comes to politics, optics is what matters. Well, I'm saying, remember.
Wait, do you remember the twerking politician that Bex is talking about? We covered that here on Fanboy.
Yes, I do. But remember I'm saying, remember Trump won on anti-optics, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true.
Okay, and they're discussing my political career under Bex. She eventually runs for office. She's saying okay is a satanic. Yeah. How is this? Do I want to know? How this is satanic?
If you do it this way and then reverse it with the other hand, yes, that's you famously will see that little goat-headed man that's in all those satanic pictures. That's what he's doing.
Look at that.
Yeah.
No, the reason why I was very sensitive about the okay thing is because at the time I worked at Target as a team lead, and a lot of times if somebody didn't have a walkie and they're like waving to me or doing something, and I'd be like, boom. I'd be like, from a distance, boom, boom. That was my symbol. Okay, good. You're good. Good work. Whatever. I'm going on break. Right? And all of a sudden people are like, people didn't say that to me, but I saw on the news, they're like, we've discovered that this is a white supremacist symbol. I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, you have to admit, we're at the bottom of the barrel.
Listen,
of society, of culture.
Mantis, I'm with you, brother. There's some things though that two reasonable men like ourselves, we can't let our emotions in defense of being able to have freedoms. There's some things we just you gotta let that one go. Like let Elon, a billionaire, deal with this.
You know what? In truth, I'm going to be real with you guys. It's not because a leftist like Steve told me to not to, but I'm saying I'm probably not going to do it, obviously, because I have tact. But I'm telling you, a lot of conservatives are going to start embracing this.
No, I'm not.
Next thing you know, next thing you know, we're going to have armbands. It's going to be wild. You know what I was saying? So this is actually my statement to the liberals. Stop trying to ban stuff, man. Stop trying to.
You guys make things worse when you try to ban it for sure, man.
Yeah,
man.
Did you have fun tonight?
I did, man. You went through the gambit. Like I had to cut you short. You were like, "Listen, you woke son of a." I'm like, whoa.
You should have let me go on my rant. You would have loved what I was going to say.
No, because I know how volatile you get when you think someone's woke, man. Your shirt starts to open up, the taco hair starts going. You look like Alex Jones in that one meme. Pull up Revelations right now. I had a great time tonight, man. I do have to say this though, man. There are no enemies to my right. Mantis is scared to type it in his Google search because he knows the rabbit hole I'm about to take him down. There's no enemies to my right. Christian nationalism. No enemies to my right. Are you terrified to go down that rabbit hole?
I am scared. What do you I feel like this is the beginning of a creepypasta. Where your friend tells you something weird and tells you to look it up online.
Taco meat. No enemies to my right. No more brother wars. I'm just gonna keep saying all these catchphrases, man, until it brings it into the algorithm. No more brother. No more brother.
Are you going to get us canceled?
No, this is deep stuff. Deep stuff we're talking about. Here's one thing. The last thing, right? We didn't talk about the Super Bowl. We can keep this all together. Super Bowl, Philly, Kansas City. Do you care about that, or are you more excited about Kendrick Lamar, a true civil rights leader and hero?
My favorite meme of the last couple of weeks is you put up when, and it's just a bunch of idiots dancing around, moving around, and you said Kendrick fans when he puts a pile of crap on the radio. And I'm like, it sums it up, right? And so I was so vested because I wanted the Bills, but I actually believe that there were two clearly fake or bad, refs on the take calls during that game, and I'm wildly upset. And I actually started posting, "I quit football. No more football for me."
Oh, you're done.
I'm so done with these efforts, man. I'm tired of Kansas. I'm secondarily tired of the Eagles, man, because they're also one of the ones who always seem to show up. And we almost had some actually fun teams going in there, but not to mention, if you actually look on Dave Pointnore's Twitter, he actually put a video clip of the two calls in a row against the Bills that were complete BS. And it's right there in the video, and it's just like, look at this nonsense. I mean, they're like, it's like the refs are on the take, and like
they were talking about in the post game too, man. The announcers, and they were just, one guy was like, "Man, I'm happy for for Kansas City, but my heart is broken for the Bills." And I was like, "Yeah, I've seen, but if you've been a sports fan in any sports, you've seen referees across the gambit cost people entire fights, entire championship legacies, bro."
That's that Taylor Swift money right there. Oh man,
and
no one can out.
She's pretty tall. How tall is she? Like 6'9"?
No, that's crazy. That's what you're kidding me. That's an Amazon. 6'9". I mean, how tall are you?
Me, I'm 6'3". I keep forgetting that I'm 6'3", man, and like, some of these young dudes, I'm like, man, you're shorter than me. But
so 6'1" would be towering over you.
Well, she looks like she's towering over people, man. She's an intimidating force.
So I put how tall is, and the auto search in this order is how tall is Donald Trump, how tall is Sabrina Carpenter, how tall is Barron Trump, how tall is Taylor Swift. And last one was how tall is Megan Thee Stallion. So she's 5'10".
How tall is Megan Thee Stallion? So I'm thinking her and Taylor are like eye level. This is great content, right?
This is classic content. Oh no, not Megan Trainor.
Nobody. What happened to her, man? Megan Trainor.
I can't stand that chick.
Why? She's so wholesome.
Her songs are garbage. Have you ever known? Megan Trainor is the one pop star. I do not have her back. It's like, she's not entertaining in the slightest. Megan's 5'10".
Megan Thee Stallion is 5'10" as well.
I thought she was a giant too. You know what it is? Because she dates short men.
Short, violent Canadians.
Yes. Violent immigrant midgets.
Doing busting shots.
Will this be the last episode of Fanboy? Maybe.
Tuesday and Sunday nights, Mic Check, the only show that speaks accurately about hip hop, folks. You want to hear positive things about hip hops? Go somewhere else. No, don't go anywhere else. I'll say something positive. Come always at 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. on RizRadio.com, is Radio Live 365.
Oh, and you can also check out The Fat Mantis Saturday and Sunday. That is 6 to 10 p.m. on Burn Your Degree, where I rip it on my solo career, basically telling you all why you suck. And you know what? I think I'm going to have to do a full episode about this whole hand gesture nonsense that's going on and tell you what I really think when I'm not being edited by my hyper liberal woke partner.
Whoa, what partner?
No. business partner. But you please check that out on Riz Radio or come to rizradio.com, or you can find us on Live 365 app. We are taking off. Fanboy Modeling School, kicking it old school.
Yes.
We miss you guys. Thanks for stopping in. Live the dream, and don't ever let a liberal tell you what you can and cannot do with your hands.
Just don't touch